I went a little bit lepidolite crazy, and I love lepidolite. It's a soft sort of lilac or purple mineral that is usually micalated, so you find it's lepidolite mica. And I have 3 different types of pieces to show you, and I just could not resist these. So the first is this gemmy lepidolite blade or wand, and so you can see it's a really nice soft lavender lilac color. And if you turn it on its side and hold it up to the light, you can actually sort of see through it. So you can actually see, I don't know if you can tell there, but you can see my finger right through it. That's pretty uncommon for lepidolite. Most of the time it's sort of more dull and silvery and pretty opaque. So this is really high quality lepidolite, and this is from Brazil. And I just love this. And one of my students, who is so amazing, said she wants to start using this right up at the top of people's crown chakras to help align their energy body and their energy field. And I think that's a great idea. Anytime you have a long blade-like mineral like this, if you put it along the spine, parallel to the spine, it does help to balance and align your energy that way. So I was really excited for these just because of the quality, the color, because color has a lot to do with the energetic vibration of the mineral, right? It's the way that light comes in and reflects and diffracts off of the interior of the mineral. So that color is actually pretty important. Some people think that it's not so much important with healing. I think it really depends on what you're doing, but I think it definitely plays a role in the properties that the mineral has, and also just the vibratory frequency. So this was a special piece for me. And then, if you like that one, I also found some gem quality lepidolite that is more like in a little cluster. And so this is almost like a little stair-stepped piece. Can you see all those little tops on there? It's like a little castle or something. This was just so cool. And again, it's a relatively thick piece, but if you hold it so that you look through just the side where all these little layers of mica have stacked up, you can actually see through it a little bit in the light. It's not quite as transparent as the thin piece, but you can still see the light come through. It's like translucent. And this was just a really cool find for me. And I got a bunch of these from my store too, but this was one that just had to come home and hang out with me. So I love this. Lepidolite's really good for reducing stress and anxiety, which when you come back from the Tucson show and you're unpacking boxes like a crazy person, like that is definitely something you need. It also helps balance the hemispheres of the brain, and it's great for depression. And this can be long-term chronic depression, or also acute, like seasonal type depression. If you get the winter blues, lepidolite might help with that. It's also known to treat people who have bipolar disorder, so helpful that way too. A lot of the antidepressant medications that we have contain lithium, which is the main component in lepidolite. It's actually what gives it that lilac purple color. So an excellent stone for a lot of different things. That being said, it's also very soft. Because it is a mica, it actually will like flake off if you were to pick at it, because it's in these thin little sheets and they're all just stacked one on top of another. So you don't often find it polished because it's so soft. It kind of crumbles and disintegrates when it's being worked. So I was really excited when I found this polished lepidolite piece, and this was one that I kept going back to and picking up and then putting down again because it was a little on the pricey side, and I went, oh, do I really need that? But you know how sometimes if you just fall in love with something and you don't get it, you know you're going to regret it later. So I just had to pick it up, and I'm so glad because I think it's one of my favorite things that I got at this show. And again, it is a gem quality piece, and when you hold it up to the light, you can see right through it, and it's like a big giant purple jelly bean. I just love it. And this piece to me is just so calming and soothing to hold. A piece of lepidolite and your peppermint tea, and you're totally ready to go. It's one of my favorites, and I just like kept finding it in such good quality this year. I don't know what it was about this Tucson show, but everybody had gorgeous, gorgeous lepidolite. And this piece came from Brazil also, and I'm not sure on the origin of this piece, but I would guess this one's also from Brazil. I asked, but the vendor wasn't sure, which I like. I appreciate if someone's at least just honest, you know, and they say, you know, I'm really not positive where that piece came from.